Heart disease and the silent buildup of arterial plaque remain the leading cause of mortality across the globe today. Yet a massive piece of the puzzle is completely left out of most medical conversations. Your body actually possesses a built-in, highly specialized sanitation system designed specifically to sweep your blood vessels clean from the inside out. Today, I want to pull back the curtain on exactly what this internal defense mechanism is, reveal the fascinating science of how it operates, and give you practical, natural steps to support it so you can protect your longevity. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I highly recommend hitting that button right now and turning on your notifications so you never miss another deep dive video made specifically to keep you healthy, independent, and informed. When you ask most people what arterial plaque actually is, they will instantly tell you it is just a glob of cholesterol or a buildup of greasy fat clogging up an artery like old grease stuck inside a kitchen pipe. But that explanation is completely inaccurate, and understanding why it is wrong is the first step to truly protecting your heart. Plaque is not a simple layer of grease. It is an incredibly complex, hardened structure made of multiple moving parts. It contains oxidized, structurally damaged molecules of LDL. It contains layers of calcium. It holds cellular debris left behind by your own immune cells, specifically foam cells, which rushed into the area to try and clean up a localized issue. Most importantly, holding this entire mixture together like a tough structural net is a specific binding agent called fibrin. Fibrin is a protein, and understanding its role as a structural protein is the absolute core foundation of what we are discussing today. To understand how to clear it, we have to look closely at how our blood vessels are put together. If you imagine an artery as a hollow tube, it does not just have a single simple wall. It is made of multiple specialized layers, including an outer muscular lining that allows the vessel to dynamically squeeze and relax to regulate your blood pressure. The plaque we are talking about does not actually sit loosely inside the open space where your blood flows. Instead, it embeds itself deeply within the muscular wall itself, hidden safely behind an ultra-thin, delicate cellular lining known as the intima. Because the plaque is locked away behind this protective cellular wall, rather than floating freely in the open pipeline, you cannot simply flush it away by pouring a chemical solvent into your bloodstream. It is a solid, multi-layered matrix bound together by tough protein strands. Therefore, the secret to clearing the vessel wall lies in safely dismantling that specific protein network known as fibrin. Now, under normal circumstances, fibrin is absolutely vital for your survival. It acts as your body's primary clotting mechanism and a biological tissue patch. Without it, the tiniest scratch or a microscopic internal bleed would become life-threatening because your body would possess no way to seal the leak. But a serious health crisis begins to develop when the rate of fibrin accumulation in your cardiovascular system consistently outpaces your body's ability to break it down. In a state of vibrant health, your system maintains a perfect, delicate balance, manufacturing just enough fibrin for localized repairs and dissolving it cleanly when the job is done. But when the balance tips and excessive buildup takes over, your cardiovascular tissues begin to stiffen. Your blood vessels lose their natural flexibility, fluid viscosity spikes, and your blood becomes sluggish and prone to dangerous microclots. This exact imbalance is what fuels the slow, progressive development of advanced atherosclerotic plaques. So why does this natural cleanup process stall out? Why does the breakdown mechanism fail to keep pace with the debris? Your body's native internal cleaning crew is medically known as the fibrinolytic system, a term derived from the word lysis, which literally means to dissolve or break apart. The absolute superstar supervisor of this cleanup crew is a highly specialized enzyme called plasmin. Plasmin is your body's custom-built tool for slicing through excess fibrin strands and keeping your circulation pristine. If you want to know exactly how well your internal cleaning crew is performing, you can ask your doctor for a standard, highly informative blood test that measures a marker called fibrinogen. The suffix gen simply means the origin or genesis of something. Therefore, fibrinogen is the direct biological precursor that your liver produces before it turns into tough fibrin strands. If your blood panel reveals highly elevated levels of fibrinogen, it is a direct indication that your body is manufacturing an excessive, potentially hazardous amount of fibrin. An elevated result does not just signal a higher risk for unwanted blood clots, it serves as a major warning sign of systemic, low-grade inflammation running rampant through your body. When tissues are chronically irritated and inflamed, your brain anticipates a massive need for structural repairs, prompting your liver to pump out massive waves of fibrinogen to patch up the perceived damage. But here is the part most people completely miss. As birthdays pass and we cross into our 50s, 60s, and beyond, our body's natural production of the plasmin enzyme naturally begins to decline. At the exact same time that our native cleaning enzymes are decreasing, many modern lifestyle factors are aggressively driving our inflammation levels through the roof. This includes a modern diet packed with refined sugars, highly processed foods, and industrial seed oils that directly trigger insulin resistance. It includes chronic dehydration, where a lack of pure water and essential electrolytes makes the blood naturally thicker. Environmental toxins, unmanaged emotional stress, smoking, regular alcohol consumption, and lingering low-grade infections all add fuel to this inflammatory fire. In fact, one of the most prominent viral infections the world has faced recently, COVID-19, is now deeply understood to cause severe complications precisely because it triggers abnormal blood thickening, widespread microclotting, and a massive, sudden spike in circulating fibrinogen levels. So, what practical steps can you take right now to lower excessive fibrinogen and restore pristine circulation, aside from the completely obvious foundation of cleaning up your daily lifestyle? While reducing inflammatory foods and managing stress are absolute requirements to stop feeding the problem, there is a powerful biological tool you can utilize to actively clear existing debris, and it involves understanding the science of systemic enzymes. The human body utilizes a broad family of enzymes called proteolytic enzymes, which are specialized tools designed to break down complex proteins. While some enzymes build structures up, proteolytic enzymes are the cleanup crew that actively dismantle old scar tissue, cellular waste, and excess fibrin. Most people are already familiar with standard digestive enzymes. Your body produces these to break down the meals you eat into tiny, absorbable components as they pass through your gastrointestinal tract. However, there is a massive operational difference between a standard digestive enzyme and what medical science calls a systemic enzyme. Digestive enzymes are engineered to stay inside your stomach and intestines, to work directly on food. Systemic enzymes, on the other hand, are specifically designed to bypass digestion, absorb directly through your gut lining, and enter your bloodstream. Once inside your circulatory highway, they travel to every single organ, tissue, and blood vessel in your body, actively interacting with circulating fibrin clusters and breaking down cellular debris far beyond the digestive tract. For a long time, mainstream science hesitated to talk about systemic enzymes because these molecules are incredibly large, and your intestinal wall utilizes tightly sealed barriers called tight junctions to keep large molecules out. Standard nutritional science dictates that proteins must be completely broken down into tiny individual amino acids before they can ever enter the bloodstream. But fascinating new clinical observations have shown that these large enzyme molecules are indeed finding a way into human circulation completely intact. The leading medical theory explaining this mystery is a cellular process called endocytosis. Your cell membranes are highly flexible, dynamic structures. When they recognize a friendly, highly beneficial compound that poses no threat to the body, the cell membrane gently wraps itself around the molecule, engulfing it cleanly and transporting it safely into the bloodstream without damaging its structure. To make this process work effectively in your own life, there is one absolute, non-negotiable rule you must follow. Systemic enzymes must be taken on a completely empty stomach. If you make the mistake of taking them alongside a snack or a meal, your stomach acid and native digestive fluids will simply treat them as a protein food source, breaking them down into basic nutrients and completely destroying their systemic clearing power. To ensure they survive the journey, premium formulations utilize specialized, slow-release capsules designed to resist stomach acid, so they can open safely in the small intestine for optimal absorption. And once they enter your system, the scientific data is remarkably consistent. Numerous peer-reviewed studies demonstrate a significant, measurable reduction in circulating fibrin, reduced blood thickness, and improved microcirculation when these systemic enzymes are taken correctly on an empty stomach. There are three specific, extensively researched enzymes that stand out above the rest for cardiovascular care. The first is nattokinase, a highly potent enzyme discovered during the fermentation of traditional Japanese soybeans known as natto. Decades of clinical data show that nattokinase is directly fibrinolytic, meaning it systematically thins sluggish blood, reduces excess fibrinogen, and optimizes natural fluid flow through tight vessels. The second major cleanup agent is serrapeptase, an exceptionally powerful enzyme that specializes in targeting overall tissue inflammation and sweeping away cellular debris, making it an incredible overall internal sanitation worker. The third, and perhaps most potent tool, is lumbrokinase. While it is the newest addition to Western cardiovascular protocols, it has been a cornerstone of advanced circulatory medicine in Asia for generations, revered for its highly precise, rapid ability to dissolve tough clotting material and protect delicate blood vessels. Each of these three enzymes utilizes a slightly different biochemical mechanism, cutting through tough protein strands at different angles to deliver a comprehensive, highly effective arterial cleanup. Now, before you begin utilizing these proteolytic enzymes, I need to emphasize a crucial safety rule. You must first work diligently to eliminate the root causes that created the high inflammation in the first place. Systemic enzymes are incredibly powerful tools, but they cannot outwork a daily routine filled with refined sugars, processed carbohydrates, and inflammatory seed oils. Once you clear those inflammatory triggers out of your daily diet, your body enters the perfect healing state for these natural enzymes to truly work their magic. When you introduce these enzymes to your routine, timing is absolutely everything. To guarantee your stomach is entirely empty, you must take them at least 2 to 4 hours after your last meal, or at least 30 minutes before you eat any food. If you consumed a light meal, a 2-hour window is usually perfect. If you enjoyed a heavy, slow-digesting dinner packed with proteins and healthy fats, wait the full 4 hours to ensure your digestive tract is completely clear before taking your capsule. Once you begin this protocol alongside a clean lifestyle, you can expect two very distinct phases of results. The short-term benefit is a rapid drop in circulating fibrinogen. Because fibrinogen is a floating, active protein in your moving blood supply, it possesses a relatively short biological half-life. It is constantly being cycled out and refreshed by your liver. When you combine a low-inflammation diet with targeted systemic enzymes, you can typically see a very real, measurable reduction in your blood fibrinogen levels in as little as 2 to 4 weeks. Achieving this initial goal is a massive victory, because it means you have effectively stopped adding new layers of fuel to the fire. However, when it comes to reversing long-standing arterial plaques, you must think about the timeline completely differently. The hardened plaque inside a blood vessel wall takes decades of slow accumulation to develop. As we established, it is a solid, deeply embedded matrix of calcium, protein, and trapped cellular debris locked behind the tissue wall. While systemic enzymes can absolutely reach and gradually dismantle this material, it is a slow, steady, and beautiful process of microscopic remodeling. You should realistically expect a timeline of 12 to 24 months of consistent habits to see structural, long-term changes in deep vascular health. Furthermore, because these enzymes are highly effective at optimizing blood thickness and improving natural circulation, you must exercise strict caution if you are currently prescribed any pharmaceutical blood-thinning medications. When you combine a powerful medical prescription with potent natural enzymes that improve blood viscosity, the two therapies can amplify one another. I strongly recommend scheduling an open, honest conversation with your healthcare provider. Bring the bottles to your next appointment. Ask if they understand the clinical benefits of systemic proteolytic enzymes for vascular health, and discuss whether these natural alternatives are a safe, appropriate option for your long-term wellness plan. Never alter or discontinue any prescribed cardiovascular medication without direct, professional medical supervision. At the end of the day, enzymes are one of nature's most beautiful, sophisticated designs. They are elegant chains of amino acids that serve as the universal key to breaking down organic matter throughout the natural world. Finding a high-quality, comprehensive formula that combines all three heavy hitters, nattokinase, serrapeptase, and lumbrokinase, alongside supporting systemic enzymes, is the absolute best way to maximize your daily cardiovascular support. I would love to hear from you today. Please leave a comment below sharing your age, where you are watching from in the world, and whether you have ever had your fibrinogen or inflammation levels checked by a doctor. Sharing your unique health journey in the comments right now might be the exact spark of inspiration or encouragement another viewer needs to read today. If this deep dive into vascular health was truly helpful and valuable to you, please type the number 1 in the comments below, or type a 0 if it was not. Your honest feedback is incredibly important to me, and it helps me continuously craft better, life-saving educational videos for your wellness journey.